Hi, welcome to Boss Fight TV. I have a few different things to talk about, so let's get right to it. And what you're looking at is the tech demo for my current project. It's a platformer, so I need to have objects have gravity applied to them, fall into the environment, and then interact with that environment by moving around. So that's all well and good. That's working. I might have just worked on that game for 1 or 2 more weeks, finished it, and left it at that. But I actually discovered something on YouTube the other day which was kind of interesting and actually inspired me in a roundabout way. So I will show you that. In HD schauen. Ja.
Kloparty. Ich bin auf dem Klo.
Whoa. Ends up that if you hit the up and the left arrow at the same time, you're suddenly playing Snake on top of a YouTube video. So that's kind of cool.
Hier geht das Licht nicht. Das ist
Ah,
nämlich
die Licht, ja.
Nee, wir essen jetzt Pizza.
So I discovered that a few days ago. I thought that was kind of interesting, and then I go back into my game demo with that in mind, and I started thinking, what if you take this environment and you put Snake into it? You control the snake, you're trying to eat objects, you have to worry about colliding with the environment, about eating your own tail. I started thinking that's not a bad idea. What if, let's say, you even were to include water and gravity in this kind of snake environment where it's just a little more interesting than Snake itself, or maybe a little more interesting than where I was going with that platforming game to begin with. And just as I'm starting to feel pretty good about these ideas, like I just came up with something really creative and interesting, I come to realize that game kind of already exists. That game where it's a relaxing game, you control a snake in the water, and you're just floating around, eating tiny particles as you grow. This game being Flow by Genova Chen. In fact, he did such a good job of making it just kind of relaxing and pretty, good sound design. He more or less ended up getting his own Sony-funded studio from the notoriety that this game brought him. So my face was a little red. I felt like I had a creative, really good idea, and 2 minutes later realized I'd already played that creative, good idea. But be that as it may, I think it's a pretty good idea to make a game similar to Flow, and then just supplement it with actually the possibility of death, with being able to collide with things. It wouldn't be as relaxing as Flow, but there would actually be an edge of competition and the possibility of failure to it. Not to say that would necessarily improve it, but it's interesting. It's an idea worth exploring. So that's about half of what I had to say. Just before I take off, one brief little piece of news from the indie game dev community. There's a new Xbox Live arcade game called Explosionade. You pilot a mechanized suit to kill aliens. That sounds like a good premise. I hear it's a good game. The creator, though, released a post-mortem discussing what went well and what went poorly in the creation and the marketing and the sale of his game. And one thing that he noticed was 3 weeks is not enough time to market an indie game. What he found was that a lot of reviewers only like to touch 1 or 2 small games a month. And if they've met that quota, there's a good chance they will not give you the time of day. So if you, like me, are creating games and hoping to sell them in the near future, that's something to keep in mind. Maybe spend at least 2 or 3 months just getting your name out there, getting the game out there, and scheduling when people will review your game to make sure that you don't just miss out. So, thank you for that piece of advice, Nathan. That'll be it for today. Thank you for tuning in, and take care.